But if you're trying to trade these high-impact news events, just know that CPI is something that has to hit the market, and then after it hits the market, we're looking for something. We're not trying to get ahead of it. We treat it just like FOMC or any kind of rate announcement. You can't stand in front of that. That means you don't want to get into a move before that number hits, because it can do wild stuff, folks, and really hurt you. Imagine if you would have been long this morning. Something in the chart that just said, hey, you know what? This thing's going to go up a lot. And you went long at 8:20 a.m. New York local time. And you use an 8 handle or 10 handle stop loss. That's a pretty respectable amount of handles for a stop loss in E-mini S&P. And then the CPI number hit like it did. Your stop loss would have done nothing for you. The market would have been laughing in your face while you're down 40-some plus handles. And your broker doesn't care. You owe money. And that money will be debited from your account. Or now you have a margin call. You owe them money that ain't in your account. Something like that could happen. So when you're looking at medium and high impact news drivers, just know that non-farm payroll, FOMC, rate announcement type things, and CPI numbers, they are generally ferocious. They can be very painful, regardless of whatever you think you know about the marketplace. Listen, folks, I think I'm the best. Well, let's be honest, I believe I'm the best. I don't think about it, I believe it. And I still respect these reports because I am aware that me, the human, I can go into those days and think, I'm smarter than my algorithm. And then it shows me I'm not. So on days like this, when I'm up against my algorithm, I have a tendency to get it wrong. Other events, FOMC, CPI, non-farm payroll, rate announcements that don't have this type of character behind it, I can be a little bit more assertive. In fact, many times I can be in before the news hits. But these events, CPI, FOMC, rate announcements, and non-farm payroll, I do not stand in front of them. I have to let them do what they're going to do, then look for the setup. And then admit to myself that I don't know what it's going to do ahead of those specific reports because they're highly manipulated. That data, it's known to certain individuals before. All the data is really. But these are high impact drivers where they really push price around. So that means what? There's going to be a lot more manipulation because that hand behind the marketplace, it's a greedy hand. It wants it before you can have it. That means you have to respect it more because it will slap you. It'll slap the taste right out of your mouth. And it has happened to me dozens of times over my career. And I've learned and was humbled on these days. So I respect it like this. And the other day, I'm out there. I ain't worried about it. I'll step right in front of it. But these reports, and then one of the ladies in our group, she tweeted, hey, I thought we look for these types of events. Not all of them are equal. And you learned about it tonight. Which ones should you be expecting a little bit more than others? And why? You don't need it. You can trade your entire career and never take a trade on CPI and still do well. And that's what I want to leave you with. I want you to remember that it's not your job to place your entire success on the expectations of navigating, entering precisely, and exiting precisely on a day like today. Because I can assure you that if anyone traded profitably today, it was a very small class of individuals, and they weren't that precise. And they did not take that trade in the morning. Now, in the afternoon, I saw, obviously, there in the afternoon, there was a nice little move after lunch. But I looked at it hindsight-wise, and I didn't feel like I would have engaged that either, because it just simply was in shock, really, to see how much it had dropped. And I was actually impressed, really, to see how far it traversed from the high of the morning to where it was in the afternoon, 1 o'clock. That kind of stuff happened. I learned from that. No matter what I do, if it's me placing a trade in your hands, you will not learn from that. You won't. And you cannot learn from teachers and mentors that are going to tell you today was an ideal trading day. Because the morning session, that was murder. That's what it looks like when you go into the slaughterhouse. You fall victim, or you escape it just by the skin of your teeth. Whew, that's that bullet. Wow, I could have got really felt poorly on that. And then, how do you manage that? What happens if you would have put an order in and it filled you 50 handles below the high? Are you going to sit here and tell me that you're going to have the confidence to think there's no way it's going to retrace any bit of that 50 handles? It's just going to be a steady drop from there. You don't know that, and I didn't know that. But it's easy to look at the chart now because you're home from school, you're home from work, you woke up from your slumber that normally occurs during the time that move probably happened. And it looks so easy. It looks so obvious now because it's hindsight. And these types of days, left to a neophyte, will create all of these toxic what-if thinking. What if I would have done this? And what if I would have done that? And you carry that over into the next trading session, and it creates what? Chaos. That's why I adopt the rule. When there's a big move like this, whether I'm a participant or not, I cannot take the morning session trade. Will it have a setup tomorrow morning? It probably will. Will I engage it tomorrow morning? No. But wait a minute, you're ICT. Yep. And that means I have rules. That's why I'm able to say what I think is going to happen, and it happens most of the time. Plan A, plan B. Not buy or sell, and then here it is, it worked out in my favor. I'm not showing you charts with a scribbly line that shows up arrow or down arrow, and come on, that's useless. Anybody can do that. It has to be one-sidedness, and I have to know where it's going. Not a general direction, a level, a specific level. I'm looking for liquidity, and that's what it's going to target. And if I don't have that, I'm being still. And I don't feel uncomfortable being still. But you can't have these feelings about missed moves, missed opportunities, and big range days. Folks, there's a funny thing that repeats a lot in these marketplaces. Small ranges bring large ranges, and large ranges bring small ranges. And there's a pattern in that repeats over and over and over again. And you can predict when there's going to be large ranges based on the economic calendar, medium and high impact news events. So all this stuff repeats. There's no reason for any of you to have any kind of anxiety or depression or feeling any regret of missing today's move. None whatsoever. The markets have not stopped working. They haven't decided to, hey, look, we can't have big moves anymore. And we did it all today. Like, this is it. Guys, listen. So why would you look at it from the perspective that you missed the move, so therefore you're a failure? That's not sound logic. You can't look at that like that, and you can't look at any of your trading where it should be encapsulated in one trading day. The only people that do this or do things like that are the people that blow their accounts. Think about this now. When I was 20 years old, every single time that I blew the live accounts, I did that with that mentality that it has to all come together today. It has to be today. This trading day has to be it. It's a be all end all. So you got to stop thinking about your trading day or your next trade. That's the final destination. So you have to look past that. You have to look past the results of the next trade. Because if that next trade doesn't arrive at success, you're not surprised. You're not taken back by it. You're not affected by it. It doesn't sink your ship. But days like this, even when you didn't participate, these are the fertile grounds for chaos. And folks, let me tell you something. Go to bed with a fertile mind like days like this would create, and think about how, I'm going to go in there and I gotta fix this feeling I missed something. Well, how do you do that? Run out there tomorrow and press a button too fast without thinking about it. And then as soon as you lose, you know damn well why you did it. It's what I talked about here tonight. And when you do it tomorrow, and some of you still will, it's going to hurt even more now because I told you, and you still can't control yourself. It's not the method that's failing. It's you. You're a captain that has no navigation skills. That's all I'm lending you. My experience behind the wheel. I've been through these waters before. I know where the tide gets a little rough. And I know when there's icebergs. Just don't go out there tomorrow trying to prove yourself. Just relax. Go slow. You have plenty of opportunities ahead of you. We have plenty of week left. We have plenty of month left. The fall is just about to start. Like these are the times when the market gets really nice. And don't let this one day trick you into thinking this is the entire move. There's nothing else after this. That's not true. So you just got to relax. So the moral of the story is this. Your trading career is not a one-day event. It's not a one-week event. So don't treat it like that. Missed moves is a profitable trade every time. Every single time. It has zero drawdown. That's the best fill. A missed move is a perfect trade because you have no drawdown. You have no negative impact psychologically because it didn't take anything from you. You don't pay any commissions on that. You don't pay any spreads on that. It is a learning experience. It's all upside. But think about how you view this day. Before I said what I just said, how do you look at this day? Oh man, I missed this. Man, I could have done a lot with that day. If I just would have had part of it today, that would have been great. You're filling up your head with all this toxicity instead of looking at it like you should. You didn't weather anything that was painful. You didn't pay any commissions. You didn't suffer a loss. You didn't have the anxiety of being in the market for real and not knowing where the hell to get out at. know damn well you wouldn't have had a stop zone. Where would you have put it? Hello. What logic would you have used to place a stop loss in this morning's move? It was just gone. So wherever you would place a stop loss, it would have been wrong. There's no reason to put it wherever you would have tried to put it, because it's a move that's been chased. So you never would have put a stop loss on. And that's the reality of it all. You have to be sober and honest with yourself. That's what journals are for. So on a journal entry like today, you should be thinking to yourself, hey, you know what? This was an amazing move. Lots of volatility, speed, ridiculous amounts of speed. But I am so thankful that I did not get in there today and find harm or suffer a loss because of the velocity that this market presented. And there was no way for me to engage it. So I'm happy that my model did not put me in a position where I was suffering a loss, drawdown, anxiety. And that's how you treat it. And on Saturday or Sunday, when you reflect on it, when the market's not trading, you come back to that entry and look at it and look at how the week of the market closed. And you reflect on how it makes you feel. What are you going to be reading on the day like today? You're going to be reading that you're positive. I'm glad I did not suffer a loss. I'm glad that my model didn't put me in a trade that was a losing trade. I didn't have any anxiety because I didn't get a valid setup. Yeah, the market moved, but it didn't give me a valid setup. So I didn't have anything to regret. See how disarming that is? That's self-talk. That's positive self-talk.